Let us discuss the next question. This is from the year 2020. A parliamentary system of government is one in which A. All political parties in the parliament are represented in the government. B. The government is responsible to the parliament and can be removed by it. C. The government is elected by the people and can be removed by them. D. The government is chosen by the parliament but cannot be removed by it before the completion of its fixed term. So, a parliamentary system of government is what? A parliamentary system of government is something in which the executive is derived out of the legislature. So, from among the elected legislative members, the executive government is formed. That is, a person who has the majority support, he will become the prime minister, and the prime minister will select his council of ministers. So, this becomes the executive. So the executive comes out of the legislature and they have the collective responsibility. Our constitution clearly defines and says that the council of ministers headed with the prime minister, they have the collective responsibility to the people of Lok Sabha. So now let us look at the statements. All political parties are represented in the government. It's not necessary. Just because it is a parliamentary form of the government, it's not necessary that the prime minister will choose ministers from all political parties. He'll mostly choose the ministers from his party or his coalition government. So this is incorrect. Statement 2. The government is responsible to the parliament and can be removed by it. Yes, the government is collectively responsible to the parliament, specifically to the Lok Sabha, and they can be removed by the Lok Sabha by passing a no confidence motion. So this is relevant. Statement number 3. The government is elected by the people and can be removed by it. The legislative is elected by the people and the government is formed out of the legislative. But as of now, there is no provision for the people to directly remove the government. The Lok Sabha can pass a no confidence motion and remove the government, but the people cannot directly. So this is incorrect. Statement D. The government is chosen by the parliament but cannot be removed by it before the completion of fixed term. No. If the government loses the no confidence motion, then it can be removed before the completion of the term. So this is also incorrect. So the best possible option here is option number B. Now what's parliamentary system of government? It is a system in which the cabinet is collectively responsible to the legislature because the executive is coming out of the legislature here. And what are the characteristics of a parliamentary system of government? We have the majority party rule, we have the collective responsibility, which is the defining factor, and membership of ministers in the legislature. Here we have the leadership of the prime minister at the center level or the chief minister at the state levels. The no confidence motion can be passed. And Article 75 clause 3 clearly says that the council of ministers shall be collectively responsible to the house of the people, that is to the Lok Sabha. So the option which best suits the given definition is option number B. Let us discuss the next question. This is from 2015. There is parliamentary system of government in India because the Lok Sabha is elected directly by the people. Parliament can amend the constitution. The Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved. Council of Ministers is responsible to the Lok Sabha. If you look at the statements, the Lok Sabha is directly elected by the people. Yes, the Lok Sabha is directly elected by the people. This is correct statement. Option B. Parliament can amend the constitution. Yes, the parliament has the powers to amend the constitution, but keeping in mind the basic structure of the constitution. So that is also a true statement. Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved. Yes, Rajya Sabha is a continuing body. 1/3 members keep retiring and other people will keep joining. So it is a permanent body. It won't be dissolved. That is also true. Council of Ministers is responsible to the Lok Sabha. Yes, that is also true. If you look at the statements, everything seems to be true. But what the question is asking, that we have to see. There is a parliamentary system of government in India because, so the question is asking us the reason for having a parliamentary system of government in India. So all these are individually true answers, but is it relevant to the statement? That is the key here. Now what is parliamentary system of government? A parliamentary system of government is one where the executive is derived out of the legislature and the prime minister heading the council of ministers, they are collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. So there is collective responsibility here. So that is the parliamentary form of government. And if the Prime Minister heading the Council of Ministers, if they lose the no confidence motion which is passed in the Lok Sabha, then they will resign. Now let us look at the statements. The parliamentary system of government is there in India because, is it because the Lok Sabha is directly elected by the people? No, we don't see any Lok Sabha directly election happening in our box. The parliament can amend the constitution. No, that is not relevant here. Rajya Sabha cannot be dissolved. Again, it is not relevant in this context of discussion. The Council of Ministers is responsible to the Lok Sabha. Yes, I talked about the Prime Minister heading the Council of Ministers collectively being responsible to the Lok Sabha. So this is the most relevant answer. So the message here is, individually the statements may look as true, but you should see what the question is asking and what is relevant and best possible option to the question. If you look at Article 75 subclause 3, it clearly says that the Council of Ministers shall be collectively responsible to the House of the People, that is to the Lok Sabha. So Council of Ministers is responsible to the Lok Sabha. This is the correct answer. And what are the other characteristics of the parliamentary system? The presence of the nominal and real executives, the collective responsibility, dissolution of the lower house if there is no confidence motion. These are all the main characteristics of the parliamentary system of government. So the correct answer here is D.